Okay, so mixed numbers. Mixed numbers are when we get a whole number plus a proper fraction. So at some point we'll be changing improper fractions into mixed numbers, but here's an example. You've got a whole number, and then you've got a fraction. So that is said to be a mixed number. So improper fractions, these are fractions that are greater than a whole. So the numerator, top number, is bigger, greater than the denominator. And you can convert these to mixed numbers, or sometimes to whole numbers. So in this case, I'll start with this one. We have an improper fraction. We have 16 over 4. Well, how do we get the number 4 out of that? Well, it's kind of interesting because 16, that vinculus there means divide. So we're actually doing 16 divided by 4 equals 4. But if you like another way about it, that's the same as, let's see, if we had 4 fourths, that makes 1, plus another 4 fourths, that makes 2, plus another 4 fourths, plus another 4 fourths. These all added together will equal 16. And of course, when we're adding and we have a common denominator, that's how we get that. That's one way to think of it. So now let's look at 15 over 4. And we know that 4 fourths is 1 whole. So how many wholes do we have? How many whole numbers do we have? I mean, we know we're going to end up with 3. How many whole numbers do we have? If we multiply 4, that's 1, 2, 3 sets of 4 will give us 12 fourths. 12 fourths, that's where we get our 3, because we had 3 sets. And if we have 12, the difference between 12 and 15 is 3. So that leaves us with 3 fourths left over. So 15 fourths, this is how I like to think of it, you might be different than me, is 4 fourths plus 4 fourths plus 4 fourths plus 3 fourths. That will give us a total of 15 fourths. These make whole numbers, 1, 2, 3, and that makes the 3 fourths. Let's keep going. Mixed numbers can be converted to improper fractions by doing sort of the opposite, and we'll do that next. And in general, improper fractions should be written as mixed numbers, with the fraction part written in its simplest form, which is really important. Really, it's not wrong to leave an improper fraction, but most of the time we want to go all the way to mixed number status with simplest form. So here we go. Convert 3 and 1/5 to an improper fraction. So I'm going to show you the long way, and then I'll show you the shortcut. So 3, the number 3 is how many fifths? Well, we have 5 fifths, so if I had a circle and I divided it into 5, is that 5? Oh my gosh, it is. So I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got the whole 5. Okay, that's 1, and I need 3. So another one, plus another one. This is the long version. I'll show you the short one. Plus the 1/5 that we've got left. So that's 5 plus 5 is 10, 15, 16. So the answer is 16 fifths. Now the other way to look at it is probably the way that you have been taught. 3 and 1/5. You will multiply this and then add this. So 5 times 3 is 15. And 15 plus 1 is 16. And look, I get the same answer. So a lot of times people will mix this up. So if you're ever confused, go back and think of it this way. How many whole sets, how many fifths, set of 5 fifths do I have to get me to that point? But either way works. Now convert 11 fourths to a mixed number. So I want to think 4 times what gets me close to, actually I got a better symbol than close to, approximate, is going to be less than or equal to 11. So let's do an experiment. 4 times 2 is 8. That could work. 4 times 3 is 12. I overshot it. I can't overshot it. So it's got to be 2. So my mixed number is going to be 4 times 2 gives me 2. And my fraction, let's see, what's the difference between 11 and 8? So 11 minus 8 is 3. So I'm going to have 3, what was my denominator? 3 fourths. So now there's two ways we can check this. We can look at, if I have 2, a whole number 2, then I would have 4 fourths, that's 1, plus 4 fourths, that's 2, plus, what did we see, 3 fourths. If we add 4 plus 4 is 8 plus 3 is 11. We did it. We're great. The other thing we can do is we can go back and check. 4 times 2 is 8, and 8 plus 3 is 11. And we keep that denominator the same. Now convert this biggie to a mixed number, and we have to put that mixed number in simplest form. So I can see what's happening here. I've got 20 over 6, so what's going to get me close to 20? 6 times 2 is 12, not close enough. 6 times 3 is 18, bingo. So our whole number is going to be 3, and the difference between 20 and 18 is 2. 3 and 2 sixths are left over. Again, you can do 6 6, that's 1, plus 6 6, that's 2, 6 6, that's 3, plus 2 6, and I guarantee yes, that's going to add up to 20. But now this is not in its simplest form. So to put something into its simplest form, I'll keep the 3 how it is. Both 2 and 6 have 2 as their factors. So 2 divided by 2 gives me 1, and 6 divided by 2 gives me 3. So that's how I ended up with that puppy. Now you can go off and do some practice.